Hi, my name is Jonathan Withem, and I teach drums and percussion at Music Lab Nashville. What's my background in music? Well, growing up, music was always in the house. My dad and grandpa were professional violinists. They even worked with some of the best orchestras in the world at the time, touring internationally, doing all the things. And my dad even was a jingle guy. He wrote for television and commercials when we lived in Southern California. And one of my earliest memories of sitting with Dad in the studio was I had the big headphones, my sippy cup, and was listening to mixes he was getting ready to send out. Well, that said, everyone assumed I would be a third-generation violinist, and they got me a little violin. Next thing they knew, I was tapping all over it and drumming on it. They said, "Get that thing away from him. Clearly, we have a percussionist in the family." And by age 8, I was studying orchestral percussion, world percussion, auxiliary percussion stuff, drum set, and even piano. Funny part with that was my mom stressed. She said, "No, you're gonna take piano at the same time because you're not gonna be a banger," were her exact words, "You're not gonna be a banger." She said, "You're gonna have dynamics and you're gonna understand musical phrasing." And then by the following year, I was playing for churches, youth orchestras, and was completely hooked. What drew me to my instrument? Well, I was always inspired by the just sheer power and dynamic force that the drum set has. And I love the fact that we basically, as drummers and percussionists, sometimes we get to drive the bus, so to speak. We get to lead. And as musicians, drummers, we have this crucial role that is often overlooked. We're called to maintain time and lead dynamically, while at the same time facilitating musical conversation that holds a group together. Dynamically and timing and all the things. And for a kid that growing up had issues with borderline crippling stage fright, being at the back of the group was actually very appealing to me, but also still getting that leadership role. Why do I love teaching? Well, I've been teaching for about 20 years now. Started when I was 15 doing after-school programs with my old middle school and working with orchestral players and jazz drummers. The beauty of it is you get to actually have influence in someone's life. You actually get to help them become what they want to become. As far as they want to go with the instrument, you get to be with them in stride, moving towards whatever goals they want to achieve. And the beauty of it also is that the more you do things like that, you actually get better yourself. We need to be students first in everything we do, and that's part of what makes great teachers great. My dad and mom were both also teachers, and so I got to see that firsthand and got to enjoy working with a wide array of players as well. Getting to work with orchestral percussionists, world percussion players. I even teched drum lines and front ensemble stuff for marching bands. And then again, all the nuances of drum set. You're never running out of things you get to learn, and then you get to convey and help others grow as well. A fun fact about myself. Well, I'm gonna stay in the music side of things for now, but I'm a huge nerd, a gear nerd, but also I love the idea that anything is a drum. And when I say that, I mean anything. Years ago, I was on a clinic tour. I was in northern India and got to one of the venues. The kit was absolute garbage. It was falling apart. I had this just random idea of, well, before I had a drum set, I played on just random stuff from the kitchen. So we had one of the families nearby go in their kitchen, and I made a makeshift drum set out of pots and pans, Tupperware, out of a water pitcher, and even a roll of toilet paper. And it worked, was able to do the whole thing, and it's amazing how we play an instrument where we actually can make anything musical. What I like to do outside of teaching, well, again, I'm gonna stay in the drumming lane. I'm what you would call a session drummer. What that means is I have tracked drums and percussion on about 30 plus projects at this point. I also enjoy gigging, playing live, playing for church. I really enjoy time with friends and family. And having just moved to Tennessee this past week, I'm really looking forward to getting outside and enjoying the beauty of nature and not the desert that was Arizona where I lived before. Once again, my name is Jonathan Withem, and I can't wait to meet you at our first lesson.